Hi there, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm David with Beyond the Blast Doors, and I'm doing a comic haul video right now because I've desperately wanted to show off this stack of books for about the last 3.5 weeks. Alex, the comic hoarder, did a live auction on his channel. It was awesome. Had some sweet Deadpool covers, which was really timely because I'm trying to learn more about the character, and I was like, I want those. And then I got all these other books, so I'm really excited to go through these. Some Image, some Marvel, some DC, some Star Wars. Got a little bit of everything in this pile, and I'm really excited to go through it with you right now. And before we get any further, if you can, give me a thumbs up down below, hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with friends. And of course, I can earn that share as we go through this video. If you didn't know, every week we do a Star Wars show. It's everything, all things Star Wars related. But then, of course, we do side projects like cosplay. We do a lot of comic book stuff. We go to cons. We share our recaps with you on the channel as well. So when you're done watching this video, go ahead and check that out. But first, check out this sweet cover, Bloodstone #1. This is the first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone, created by Dan Abnett and Andy Landing. This was the first appearance, and this comic book came out back in 2001. And I'm going to try and position this so that you can appreciate its beauty in its entirety. You know, some might say it's a simple cover, but I had no idea that in this grouping of books I was getting this first appearance. And so trying to learn more about Elsa Bloodstone, kind of a Buffy the Vampire kind of influenced character, a little Van Helsing touch in there as well. I get that vibe reading this book and some of what I've read online. So a really cool book, not a bad first book to start with this video. Next up is the first of a 4-part miniseries Marvel, and I actually have all 4 parts here. It's Hunger. This is part of the Age of Ultron aftermath. Here's #1 for you, and really nice cover there by Adi Granov. Just a really nice cover there. Love the coloring. This is basically from the fallout of Age of Ultron. Rips open there's a huge rift in the universe at this point. So cue this series, and it gets pretty exciting as you're looking at cover #1 here. I'll go move this one and I'll show you cover #2. And Granov does this as well. Still dealing with this catastrophe. And there was I don't want to give it away, but in this book there is something that happens, and the revelation of that happens in Age of Ultron #10. So this book was actually under a classified name of Age of Ultron #10 for a while. I remember some friends talking about how confusing this miniseries was, but Hunger #2 right there. Hunger #3, very nice cover. Again, Granov with the artwork on this cover, and it's pretty majestic. I want to make sure that the glare is not on the book, but Galactus, is in this run. Definitely an opposing threat for our heroes, and the Chitauri Empire destroyed at this point. The Kree Empire has been defeated, and everyone's just wondering at this point where Captain Marvel is. It's just a really exciting book, a great little miniseries run. And then, of course, it all culminates in #4. So Granov finishes it off with the covers. And this was written by Joshua Hal Felkov. The main artist on this was Leonard Kirk, but Granov was doing the covers on here. And, yeah, so it's just kind of concluding this mini-series. Some questions that the reader has going into this and during this issue includes, what's going on with Rick Jones? Has he failed to stop Earth from destruction? There's death is quite the concept in this. This 4th issue kind of centers around that and a possible hero being reborn. And here we go. It's the road to Cataclysm. It starts right here with #4. So a really cool book. Like I said, I have 1 through 4, so it's really nice to have. It's really nice when you get that opportunity to stumble upon a mini series. You find that #1 maybe in the long box at your LCS, and then it's always kind of convenient when 2, 3, and 4 are right there. Even more convenient is when your friend does a live auction and you can grab them with one fell swoop. This was thrown into the mix. This was not part of the auction. This was kind of an act of kindness that was tossed in this bunch. Star Wars #1, the Dynamic Forces variant, and 15,000 copies of this bad boy were made, and I'm a pretty big fan. Anything with Luke with blade exposed really gets me excited. And here's the thing: people have the debate all the time whether or not there's too many variants for certain issues. Star Wars #1 that came out in 2015. I think a plethora is an understatement. I mean, dozens of variants, and some of them pretty stinking cool. I think this one is just a real treat. Not only do you have that, Luke posing there with his lightsaber, but you also have Han with his gun withdrawn. You have the X-Wing swooping out. This is a land-drawn variant, so pretty sweet there, and a really nice pickup. Really appreciate this one, Alex. Really appreciate this one because, like I said, was not expected. And that certificate, I should say, of authenticity, that's an extra little bonus. It's just a little icing on the cake. Of course, this is the cover. This is the variant. But something about having that certificate makes it feel all official. Now, this is where I really thought the haul was going. When he was showing off the books, it started off predominantly as a Deadpool grouping of books and a couple of Iron Man appearances. So we'll show this one first. Invincible Iron Man #4. Love this cover here with Mary Jane holding the front piece there of Iron Man's helmet. Cover and the interior art done by David Marquez. Tony is in a lot of trouble. And then Mary Jane Watson just enters the issue and kind of saves the day. And it's kind of a really fun issue. It's kind of cool to see these two characters cross paths. I don't have a whole lot of experience reading these Marvel lines. My interest, my passion to learn more is probably about a year and a half old. I would say maybe more than that. I just kind of find Marvel comics to be confusing sometimes. So I usually hang with DC. But you know what? With all these great movies coming out, you have to convert at some point, right? And so I'm glad that part of that journey begins with this book right here because the cover is a great reflection of the talents that's demonstrated inside as well. So that's a fun book. This one is to Invincible Iron Man. This is really neat. This is a first printing. This is the New York Special Edition. This is covered by David Leffield and interior art, David Marquez, so the one that just did that Invincible Iron Man that I showed you. And this is pretty cool. It's out of the pages of Secret Wars. It's really fun, a really fun story. You get some new villains. You get some new armor. It's another great look at Tony and his biggest nemesis. And the thing about this one is, the big question is, well, who are Tony's biological parents? And to be honest, that's something that I never thought of as a fan who really learned about Marvel characters through the movies. I didn't know there was any question about Tony's biological parents. I thought Tony's dad was basically the Walt Disney of the MCU, So a really shocking, very interesting book right here. This is I didn't even know how to respond when I saw this cover because it was like Iron Man, but it was like a samurai. It looked medieval. It kind of just, I'll let you look at it for yourself. Somewhat indescribable. This is Deadpool. This is number 22. It's the B cover back from 2008. This is a 1 for 15. The variant is by, forgive me if this is wrong, folks, but Marko Drjevic, I believe is how you say that name. And the art inside is done by Tenang Hoot, which obviously those are two different people. But the art inside is just as unique, really intriguing, but sometimes it's hard for me to get past this cover because it's just so fascinating. Like I said, it kind of feels medieval, a little Mid-Eastern, a little barbaric, especially how he's kind of holding that like mace-type thing, that mace-type weapon. The word is weapon, not thing. But, this takes place in somewhere in rural North Georgia. And, Deadpool makes a really shocking discovery in this book. And it's pretty fascinating. It's really exciting. But this is a book that I would have no idea about unless I got it from Alex. So a really fun adventure right there. Karnak, this is a number 4. This is a variant right here. And anything with a done set I feel is pretty funny. And this is a 1 for 10 retailer incentive variant. Covers by Ron Lim. Interior art, Roland Boshi. And basically this death cult has abducted an inhuman child. And it basically called that child their messiah. And so Karnak of the Tower of Wisdom. He's hired out by the family to retrieve the boy. But it turns out that maybe that cult might not be the bad guys. I don't want to give it all away, but pretty cool. And I just love, when Deadpool is depicted in these ways, it's comedic all the way through, not just the storyline, but I like how Deadpool's always breaking the fourth wall, and it's not just done in the story; it's done in the cover. It's also something you saw with the marketing campaign for the movie, right? Deadpool so many times was talking to you, the viewer, while you were watching either on YouTube or at home on TV. So this is all new, all different Avengers, number 4 variant. This is a Rubio cover. I like it a lot. There's a little damage to the top, and I knew about this before. I knew this before I bid on the book. A little damage up top, so I think that could be fixed by just pressing it. But Bobby Rubio does that variant cover, and I just love it. A little cartoonish. I think that's really all that needs to be said about that. It reminds me of a few other artists that I follow that if you catch in a later haul video, I will tell you that it'll pay off because I'm going to show off some artwork by a really talented guy that I really just recently found out about. And his name is Scotty Young. And I want you to watch that next video. It's going to come out either later today, so this is Saturday, or it's going to come out this week. But it's incredible. This reminds me a lot about Scotty Young's work. So really excited to get this book cracked open and look into it. And that's the thing. What's great about these books is the fact that they all display really well. But also, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to thumb through them. A lot of these are for my personal collection. And, I don't know. It gives me something to do on a Saturday night when friends bail on me. Because sometimes that happens, Sometimes friends bail on their friends. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a fun one. Kind of reminds me of, what's that video game that everyone plays? I'm spacing on it. This is so ridiculous. Minecraft. All my friends played Minecraft in college. It was like the thing. It's like Friday afternoon, classes would be done. You go to the UC, you get your Papa John's pizza, you'd be walking back to your room, and you're so excited because you're going to hang out with all your friends, and you get back and everyone's playing freaking Minecraft. The more I look at it, it's not really more like Minecraft. It's really less and less the more I think about it. But hey, you know what? Silney does the cover for this. It's a 1 in 10 retailer incentive, and I don't know. I just thought it's comical and it's funny, and there's this big rainbow, and for some reason it just looks like something that's very something you would see in a Deadpool cover. Basically, what happens in this book? There's this threat. Its name is Yotat the Destroyer, and that's basically. That's really all you need to know going into the book, and then you uncover, what plays out from there. But, it's a funny cover. It just kind of seems like a parody. It's like there are some people that go out there and they'll look for really cool covers to collect. I'm one of those people. If I see a really cool Star Wars variant, for example, like this Lando number 1 that I found the other day, which was just really stellar, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I have no problem with that. But sometimes I feel like these books are almost like making a mockery out of how cool some comic book covers can be. And I think that's hysterical. My last book on this haul, and I've been trying to keep this a real steady pace, so I try not to ramble too often. But this is the one that I wanted to end on, and I really want your feedback down in the comments below. So if you haven't already, I want you to comment down right now when you see this book cover and tell me if you agree with me. This is Deadpool number 15, Death of X. This is a variant edition, and take a look at this. Okay, this came out in 2015, all right? 4 series. The cover is by Dan Barron, and it's a Civil War II tie-in. But here, I look at this, and does this not look like the image that we've gotten from the promotional materials for Deadpool 2? They're surrounding the kitchen table. It almost looks like a Thanksgiving meal with the turkey on the table. Doesn't this artwork look very similar to that? Am I overthinking this? I'm not sure. I want you to tell me down in the comments below if you see any similarities or if you think that I'm just losing it. But I am really obsessed about this cover. I love it. This looks like an artistic style. I would see like a traditional American family painted in this way, and it would be hung on my family's wall in the dining room. You know what I'm saying? This is a work of art, this cover, and I just really enjoy it. So that is the last one, Deadpool number 15, and I'm telling you, it looks to me like that piece of media they've been using, that image they've been using to promote Deadpool 2, which I'm anticipating being a great movie. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I want to say thanks again to Alex the Comic Hoarder for having that live auction, supporting our community. You know, the thing about these books is, you know, I got them for a great deal. I don't know if Alex or anyone who does these live auctions in the comic book community really makes money off of them, but what they do is they allow the late collectors or maybe the more intense collectors to find really cool books for a less amount of dollar, and that's always appreciated. So thank you so much, Alex. And now you watching this video, if you haven't already, comment down below. Let me know what you think about those books that I showed off. Also, let me know what you think about the channel. I'm always down to hear about people ask questions or comment about the channel. If you like Star Wars, this is the place. And all I ask is this, and I asked this at the beginning of the video too. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to our channel and share this video, share this channel with anyone you know who likes comic books or Star Wars, because that's what we do here. I would say like 90% of this channel is Star Wars, and I just have one playlist where I post all my comic book haul videos, because the comic book community on YouTube has been just very kind to all of us. You know, we got started on YouTube about 5 months ago, and we really didn't know what we were doing. We have some background in broadcasting, and so we just wanted to do a show about Star Wars, and then we started doing cosplay because some people like cosplay, and then we got involved with some people who really like comic books, and then here we are, immersed in this comic book community. So thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.